Hey everybody, Jacob with ATV Wholesale here, and what I want to do this week is something a little bit different. Here behind me I have 3 of some of our favorite electric bikes, and I want to go over the specs and features and talk to each one and show you why maybe these 3 bikes or one of these 3 would be a good fit for you. So these kind of cover a broad spectrum of electric bike interests, and I want to start with one of our best sellers historically. This is the Aventon Pace 500 version 3. Now, what makes this bike so special and why it's one of my personal favorites is a few things. So starting with this adjustable stem and curved handlebars. So what this does is allows for a more upright comfort posture. A lot of electric bikes on the market have these straight bars and fixed stems, and so that kind of forces you into a bent over, more sporty posture. A lot of people, including young and old alike, want a more upright comfort posture on their electric bike. So another big benefit of this is that it's lightweight. This is, as you might notice, a rigid frame. There's no suspension on it, but as I tell a lot of people, if most of your riding is in relatively smooth trails, terrain, streets, and roads, you're not doing anything rough and bumpy, you don't need necessarily the added weight of suspension. So a nice rigid frame like this is still smooth over bumps and cracks, but it provides you a lighter, more nimble bike. This bike has hydraulic brakes, a 500-watt motor, and it comes with optional fenders and a rear rack. Really good setup. This bike is also optioned with or offered in either a step-through or step-over frame. Check out the Pace 500 if most of your riding is trails and streets, mostly local stuff. Going on to our second bike. This has quickly become one of our best sellers. This is the Electric XP Trike. This is a new addition to our lineup here, and it has absolutely sent shockwaves. Now, traditionally, we've had a hard time selling trikes because a lot of trikes on the market are big, heavy, and bulky. They don't ride smooth, they're not very stable, and number one, they're very expensive. Oftentimes, electric trikes can creep into the $3,000 and above price point. So let's talk about a couple things that makes the XP Trike really special and unique. Number one, this bike only costs $14.99. $14.99, and during the holiday sale, you get a bunch of cool stuff. You get this comfort seat package with back support. You get a cargo package with a rear rack and a front rack. While we don't have the front rack on, we will provide it to you. And you get a lock and I believe a phone holder. So really cool value at $14.99. Now take a look at something special here. This is something I haven't really seen other trikes do. This is a rear hub motor. Most electric trikes have a front hub motor. Bad idea. It's not stable, the wheel tends to spin, and it's just not a very smooth ride quality. So a lot of engineering went behind designing a rear hub motor and number one, differential axle. So both of these wheels actually spin independently, and that's very important for when you're taking turns. A big concern for electric trikes is when you're taking a turn, these big, clumsy trikes oftentimes are very unstable in a turn. With the rear differential and nicely portioned sized tires, very stable on turns, very easy to maneuver. The power and electric assist is very smooth with the rear hub motor. And number one, or another great feature is that you get hydraulic brakes. The trike only has a top speed of 14 miles an hour, which trust me is more than enough for what most people are doing. If you're looking for a stable, smooth, and affordable electric trike, this has got to be the number one option in the market. Do your research, check out the Electric XP Trike. And then lastly, right here, this is something newer to our lineup. This is the Mach Wheel Obsidian. It's a full suspension electric bike that's designed to be more of an affordable alternative to some of the really expensive options that you have out there. So you get some neat features. Number one, 1,000-watt rear hub motor, lots of power, comes standard with fenders. All right, we get a torque sensing system here, so it's not the cheaper cadence sensor. You get a smoother torque sensor, big 20 amp hour battery for tons of long range. You get nice easy thumb throttle with hydraulic brakes, color display, and an 8-speed Shimano shifter. This bike rides very smooth, largely in part due to the D&M rear shock. I've seen a lot of other cheap full suspension bikes use the A5 rear shock, and while that's okay, the D&M is a lot better. These are adjustable suspension front and rear. You have your standard fat tires, 26x4 for stable, smooth rides, hydraulic brakes for strong stopping power. Just a good bike for those that are looking for a little bit of a more adventurous ride. If you're the kind of person that does a little bit of on and off-road riding, this is going to be a good option. So between the three here, this kind of covers a broad spectrum of interest. If you guys got any questions, come on by. I'm happy to talk through some of the options. We've got tons of other bikes to consider, but these three are really good options for a lot of people to look at. Come over to ATV Wholesale Outlet in Sacramento, California. We look forward to helping you out. Thanks.